Good afternoon and welcome to Bendat Stadium. It's finals day. We've got the elimination final between the South Australian Dragons up against the home state West Coast Thunder in this 23 and under division. They have been tightly contested throughout the week. Last meeting in round number 10, only just last night where WA were victors 51-39. Both of these teams coming in after a loss this morning. The West Coast Thunder boys going down by 20 to Victoria, who are straight through to the grand final, and South Australia with a very solid performance against Queensland, winning by 8, 54-46. My name is Mandy Love, and joining me today is Dan Cook. Dan, how excited are you about this match today?
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. Western Australia probably not putting out the performance they wanted to against Victoria in full and making it through the grand final. Have to go the hard way, pulling it out against South Australia. South Australia were able to get themselves across the line against Queensland, and they will be extremely happy, and look, they've got it all on the line for themselves as well.
Can you run us through the starting seven, please?
Yeah, in at goal shooter for Western Australia is Denholm. At goal attack is Dan Perella. Wing attack is Goss. At centre is Mensing. Wing defence we have Davis. Goal defence is Bayliss, and bringing up the back in goalkeeper is Moore for South Australia. Goal shooter is Taylor. In at goal attack, Sampson. Wing attack is Dutram. In centre is Hay. Moyaris brings in wing defence, Searle at goal defence, and Ashworth at goalkeeper for the Dragons.
And our officials today are Betty Zhang and Belinda Hares, with Zachary Van Hoff on the reserve umpire, and it'll be a West Coast Thunder centre pass to kick us off here. And there's a bit of a crowd building in here in show court number 1. And play gets us underway. Perella with the centre pass receipt. Mensing has to go back to the transverse line just to set something up. Denham looks across the circle. Goss, he's got such a great reach with his arm span. Perella will have a look at the goal. Offloads it to Denham. Denham turns straight to post, and that's the first goal of the day for the West Aussies, under the hand of Denham, who, he will score a number of goals for West Australia this match, has done all week. I'm interested to see what defensive structures WA puts out against South Australia. We saw earlier this morning Queensland attempting a box that, they were quite smart on breaking it down. And Sampson plays it back out. And Bayliss called for the obstruction on the landing. And just the first up miss by Sampson. But there's the first goal for the South Australians under the hands of Taylor.
Yeah, good start for South Australia as well. Both teams able to score off their first centre pass.
Denham has to go back to Mensing. Everyone's a little bit static while they're in the box from the Dragons. Bayliss, good backup. Denham comes around outside the circle. Both shooters at the ball and has to go long to Denham.
Yeah, great delivery from Goss into Denham now. West Australia on the board again, 2-1.
And good first up contest against Dutram was Jack Davis. He's going to have to do that all game. We saw in the early game this morning, Dutram was definitely the creator for the Dragons in the front line. And great pass. And again, another missed shot from the South Australians. Not the start they're looking for. They were so confident at post this morning.
Yeah, maybe a sign of nerves now. This one meaning a little bit more with the plays on the grand final on the line.
The next 60 minutes, who will come out on top? Will it be the home state West Coast Thunder, or will it be the Dragons? And Denham strong at the post. It's a long feed, and they've got the centre pass to follow too. So 3-1 currently in favour of the team from the West. And Goss just kept running through, drawing the contact from Dutram. Perella, and nice little balk to Goss, and finds Denham under the post.
Yeah, great vision as well to sight Denham there. really strong start from the Western Australian 23s team.
And they've jammed Dutram high on the and you saw Mensing had a good look at it. Hay has to work himself onto circle edge. And Taylor will have the pass. Finds on circle edge. Just short. Better approach from Taylor. That's his second goal for the day. So Goss getting off the line really nicely. Denham coming out, has to cross the ball all the way across. And nice little drop pass to Mensing, who finds Perella. First shot of the day from Perella and nails it.
Yeah, great shot from Perella.
They've just got to stay in play here. I like the intensity of the defensive pressure, but again, you know, you've got to show that discipline, especially in these types of matches.
Yeah, we saw South Australia get a lot of flow this morning in this morning's live stream game. However, not able to get that same flow at the moment. Western Australia doing a really good job at halting their entry into the circle.
And held ball. That was great work. All defenders from Western Australia keeping themselves in play. No one releasing the pressure. As they link down court. Close not to get a footwork call. And they look one shooter out, one on. Davis, ball in hand, has to go back to Bayliss. I like that reset, gives himself a bit of depth and then they can go forward again. Finds the pocket. Mensing doesn't know which foot he's landed on. And there's the one-on-one with Denham. Denham doing a ton of work down the back end, being an option to the ball at all times.
Just smart play from Denham there, just able to set his body up in the right spaces multiple times, really causing the SA defenders some issues.
And, you know, and SA dropped both games in the rounds to the West Aussies. You know, does this play a factor into this knockout semi?
Yeah, definitely. If you haven't picked up a win, I think it's very hard to come out and think that you can deliver straight away, especially if it's got a little bit of a margin to it. They were able to come out against Victoria, sneak the win, but not back it up yesterday afternoon against WA, and I think they would have looked to back it up to make a point. So it'll be a lot harder for them to get over the line today.
And Hay gets a great second phase ball there. And that's better work by the Dragons. Just not quite comfortable going straight to post. Both defenders out. And it's a measured approach by Sampson there. That's their third goal for the day. So 7 plays 3. And good hands over pressure too. Probably a replay ball, yeah. Unfortunate from Sill.
2 controlled bats picking the ball up there. Unfortunately, the rule book says that that's a replay.
So we see the box set up from the Dragons. How do the West Coast team break it? Oh, just going long and direct into Denham, and nice distance from Ashworth, but the Ice Queen, she's here today. That is Denham's nickname, is Ice Queen, according to Open Men's athlete Elliot Clark. He's just such a phenomenal athlete, just really composed for a youngster. It was really unfortunate in last year's Nationals to get injured right before playoffs, so it was a huge loss for the 23s team. But he's back with a vengeance today. And it should be a thunder ball, yep. Nice work by Sill, just interrupting the flow. And again, just need to centre it. They've got to keep running through this and just repeated efforts. Good change of direction from Perella. Opens up space. Mensing finds Denham. And Gost. So close to circle edge. There is a penalty though.
It's just so controlled from the West Australian front end. There's no rushing, nothing looks out there. Great shot from Perella as well.
And the goalers haven't missed yet either, so it's a great start to the home state. And you can see the defenders, like you can see the eyes light up, but unless it's going to be a clean line of the ball, they're not going to risk it just yet. They just want to build that applied pressure first. And I think that, to me, is discipline. That's great. And that's a beautiful place passed into Taylor, who makes them pay.
Yeah, Taylor just finding some space in the back for South Australia. That was a beautiful feed in from Dutram.
So 9 plays 5. Oh, great read from Hay. Gets a contact on Goss. So an opportunity now for the Dragons to convert this possession, and then they'll have the centre pass to follow. Obviously in netball we have alternating centre passes. Taylor finds Hay. What can he do with it? They sell the ball to get the defenders moving. Nice screen set by the rotation of the shooters.
Yeah, good rotation in the circle there, just freeing up Freddie Taylor to take the ball over the top, but don't discount what Sampson did in that circumstance.
And you can see them just, again, a patient build-up. We saw this in the first game earlier this morning as well, that was live streamed. Both teams just working their way through this match, just feeling each other out. And Bayless with a touch. Finding Sampson, and clean shot at goal. That's his second for the day. So back to a 2-goal lead. 9 plays 7 in favour of West Coast Thunder. And again, just hands letting Perella down on that one.
Yeah, slightly not as quick on the lead there, Perella, and allowing South Australia to get hands to ball.
Huge moment for the Dragons right now. And you can see the defenders trying to work around ball side, and you start to feel like the Dragons' shooting end is starting to get the hang of things as Bayless gets such a fortunate sort of rebound to his name. Has to go long to Davis. Mensing's on the other side of the court. I like how they transition that, using the V to cut back to one side.
Yeah, it saves the long ball across the court. Really
Yes.
takes the defenders for South Australia out of the contest.
And we see Mark McCoach coming on in that wing attack position. He is the captain for the 23s this year. Look for him to add some spark into this mid-court. Perella just rolls around the front and just offloads, but not quite there. And, oh, great backup by Sampson on the line there as well. So Dragons have another go at a goal for long court possession. Has to go long. And just held off on that. And then Mensing picks up the crumbs. How do the West Coast Thunder bring it down? And looks like Will Winter has also joined the game in that goal defence position. He's been an integral part of this defensive duo for the West. And again, all caught on the other side. A nice pop by Perella and the feed from the coach. Got a long time between goals there for the West.
Yeah, South Australia, though, should feel like they're in this game at the moment, still having just one more shooting attempt on goal already than Western Australia. So interesting that they haven't been able to put the ball through the ring yet, but still in the contest.
And it was a contact against Linter. And great little feed. Oh, just overcooked the shot. Was Taylor. Moore steps up on the goal line, connects to Davis. And Sparky under the attention. Yeah, it wasn't the call on our court. And I like how they went straight back into play as well.
Yeah, look, it is quite noisy down here. The call from the other court came and everyone turned around thinking that maybe there was a possibility of a call here, but South Australia still retaining possession.
And strong hands over pressure. And Taylor just drains it. Mid-range.
Yeah, better shot from Taylor on that occasion now.
Looks like we're starting to get a game on our hands as this starts to unfold. 2.5 minutes left to play here. Goss in at centre, just overcooks the pass to McCoach. And again, a couple of unforced errors proving costly for the West Coast Thunder team. You want to see their applied pressure as Davis gets a touch to it. It'll be a Dragons feed on the opposite sideline though. Looks like they're reverting to a man-on-man defensive structure. So really forcing play wide. And just contact call against McCoach. I like the work that Linter's doing in back play. Oh, and he's just got front position. Great stuff by Freddie Taylor.
Yeah, Freddie Taylor just sitting in the front of Linter there, scoring the penalty, putting that one through the ring for his 6th.
He's the one with the hot hand from South Australia. As he comes out, looks like he's going to turn to post. Nope. No long ball here just yet. Oh, hey, finding circle edge very nicely. And should be a West Coast ball. Another missed attempt by the Dragons. They were doing so well early. An obstruction call, lucky not to get a hell ball there.
Yeah, defensive work from South Australia, not able to hold Western Australia enough at the moment.
Having to go back to Wade Moore, who's their vice captain. And nice little connection down the same lane. McCoach hitting circle edge and Perella on the front cut. And just hits the rim and goes through for his 5th goal today. So 11 plays 9 in favour of the West. And both players running into each other. They've got to work it through. They find McCoach into the pocket and, oh, good draw by Max Denham. And then that gives Perella the backspace as well. So both shooters working it evenly. 6 goals apiece for them. Dragons with the centre pass. Can they get it to post? They've got to play on. Are they game aware? And contact. Giving away contact. Here's a pressure cooker shot for Taylor. Drains it on the buzzer. And that'll be the end of the first 15 minutes of this elimination semi-final between South Australia and West Coast Thunder. The West Coast Thunder currently leading 12 goals to 10. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back straight after this. AMMNA Championships 2023 proudly supported by Bladen WA, Great Temptation Sweet Treats, Spudshed, West Coast Fever and Netball WA. The West Coast Thunder are proudly supported by Forte Physiotherapy, WA Sports Performance, Spudshed, Subiaco Sports Massage, the Wembley Hotel, Fresh Frontier and Smelsea by Chelsea. Welcome back to Bendat Stadium here in WA. We've got a semi-final on our hands in the 23 and under division. It's the West Coast Thunder currently up 12 goals to 10 against the South Australian counterparts. It's been a great match so far. My name is Mandy Love, and joining me today in expert commentary is Dan Cook. Dan, amazing first 15 minutes of netball.
Yeah, it was a very good first 15 minutes of netball for both teams. South Australia down by 2 with an extra 6 shots on goal in that quarter. So I think they'll be a little bit disappointed they weren't able to capitalise on the shots that they had, but Western Australia, it looked like they're getting the ball through the court really easily.
And they've got a contact call just on the inside of the circle. Looks like Denham will get a shot at post here. And, you know, it's great to see in the crowd we've got our 17 and under team and our West Coast Thunder Open men's team here supporting the 23s. Love seeing the squad support here.
And really that goes both ways. The South Australian Open men's team here to support as well as the mix. So great to see the state support there for their teams who are in a do-or-die battle.
And Dutra Moore gets a touch and does just enough to get the ball. His teammates pick up the scraps. Must convert here. And Denham through the middle lane. Both middies just on top of one another. And the roll from Perella. Oh, looks like could have been a footwork call, but got away with it.
Yeah, got away with that one there. Gets the penalty, though, on the outside of the circle here at Western Australia.
And Max just pops out. Something that I did notice in the first quarter, it's quite a long 3 foot down the left-hand side of the court for the viewers. So for both sides defensively, they really need to show that adjustment on that 3 foot mark. Nice box defense and a touch from the Dragons. Davis. And draws out the obstruction call as well. So 2-on-1 opportunity. What do they do here? Oh, nails it. And gets the low 5 from his teammate. It's 15 goals to 10. 5 goals the difference. And nice to see, Moore coming out for another touch as we see him out in the GD role. And Will Winter dropping back into goalkeeper. I think with Moore's injection at GD, it offers them just more attack coming out of the court as well.
Yeah, more drive through the court, just an easier way to bring it through. We do see a change now, though, for South Australia. Hobson comes on to the court for Freddie Taylor.
And Max Denham strong at the post. He's been a handful for the Dragons so far. 16 plays 10.
Taylor now straight back into the substitution box, going from a goal shooter, looking to retake the court at wing defence.
That's interesting to me. Mind you, in saying that, Mahera's probably not having the desired effect that he did in the game this morning. You know, Goss has got quite long limbs on him, so maybe that's the matchup they're looking for. Yeah,
a little bit of extra close body pressure, maybe some help driving the ball through the court.
You know, similar in stature as well, so this could be a really good matchup. And Davis, again, defensive pressure immense from both sides. Didn't think there was anything in that, but, you know, play continues. Denham comes out of the circle. And, hey, was able to drop it off to his teammate. This has been a great battle defensively. Who shows composure, though?
Yeah, South Australia really needing it down by 6 at the moment. I think they need to ensure they're getting the ball through the circle, maybe not the long ones.
As both West Coast defenders almost colliding with the heads, taking each other out.
Yeah, that was a risky long ball there from South Australia, not paying the dividends they would have been after.
And, you know, I'd like to see Mensing not step on. You know, the reason why he's struggling is because he's stepping on with the ball in hand. Just as we see Dutram do here, but he gets the contact call. So Sampson, this will be the first goal for the Dragons. So the margins still remain at 5. And nice defensive pressure from Perella. Obstruction call though.
Yeah, worth a shot at the delay there, to be honest, not to allow South Australia to have easy flow into the front end.
100%, completely agree. Right intention. Will Linter just needs to try and keep moving around Hobson, and Sampson just works himself close to post. And that's a great goal for the Dragons here. as they work down this margin. It's now 4. Moore with the ball in hand. Who does he connect to? Angles are just getting a little bit flat, so repeated efforts needed. And Jack Davis through the middle of the box. Finds Goss. Denham a long way from home. And Denham again, almost in that playmaker role as he connects to Perella.
Yeah, a little bit of a positional switch, doing the work on the outside of the circle. Now Perella able to find space under the ring.
And just with the hip is Mensing as he's pulled out for contact. So free pass to the Dragons. And Hay just drops it off to Sampson. Double jump from the west. And Dutram goes up, and Moore with another deflection over the top. Trying to get it into, is it Hobson and goal shooter now?
Yeah, Hobson on the court now, goal shooter. Look, the change here now that we've seen with Hobson on has freed up Sampson, but he's not been able to convert on all of the occasions, and I'm not sure that this change has really worked for the South Australian team.
No, I don't think it has either. If anything, it stemmed their flow. They had a nice little rotation going on, and it almost invites the West Coast Thunder defenders into the game. And footwork caught. I was like, there had to be something happen down there.
Yeah, just caught in the rush as well. Disappointing there for South Australia.
And again, just some composure needed. You know, we thought the first 15 minutes was very measured by both sides. They've come out quite frantic in this second quarter.
Yeah, both sides are a little frantic. Still, we want to make sure that they can settle themselves down, find the relevant spaces.
Oh, and that is the man that you want with the ball in hand, is Denham. He just knew exactly where. He just went direct to post, easy as he does it, direct passage of play. Oh, Perella needs to release that ball on the first second. He was free. Corey gets a Perella pass thrown at his head. And Denham probably just caught a little flat-footed there. Was on the lunge forward.
Yeah, just not taking his feet through onto the ball. Just allows touch from the South Australian defenders.
Yeah, Perella just couldn't get two hands up on that occasion. So need to work hard on defence for the West Aussies if they want to win this ball back.
Almost feel like they weren't ready for the play to begin. So that's something for them to think about. Always being ready in that goal circle.
And this is really great defensive pressure. They're really making the Dragons work extremely hard as Denham gets a touch to it. Will get the contact though. Right intention. I love an attacker who defends. I've been saying it all week. Nothing gives me greater pleasure to see that in action. And Goss gets a deflection. And Moore just read that so easily. And is it Sampson out of play? Denham, mid-range goal. Like it was a training day in the park for him. He's having a great game. Dutram. And they work through the front. And nice rebound opportunity from Sampson. And he delivers for the South Australians. And we see McCoach back on court in the centre role. So Patrina Pahi not afraid to bring in the changes to keep the legs fresh, and as she does, that feed from the pocket taken. Oh, so they're just resetting the penalty, and that's another goal for the West Aussies. So 20 plays 13 in this 23 and under knockout semi-final. A chance for one side to go through to the grand final against Victoria. And Mensing just caught for the contact.
Just dropping the 3 feet a little short there. I thought the hands over pressure was pretty good. It should have been called a little bit earlier than that.
And great defence on the shot, and Sampson equally up to task for the goal.
Yeah, Sampson with all the shots taken so far in this quarter. Hobson not able to find the ball. I really think that it's the change here has taken the impact of the other goaler out of the game, which is really what Samson needs.
And, you know, you see down the other side, West Coast Thunder, both shooters working actively together.
Yeah, sharing the workload of shots on goal.
Breaking call against Dutram. This is going to hurt if they can score. Perella through the middle of the box. So open circle right now. And the coach hitting circle edge. Everyone hustling around the outside of the circle for the Dragons. And again, just Denham popping at the right moment. Having a great game. 22-14 in favour of Thunder. Front cut from the coach. Looks in. And yeah, Denham couldn't quite get his hands to it. Great defence from Ashworth.
Yeah, great tip at the back from Ashworth. Really got his feet into a good position, able to contest the ball.
And Lynch getting called for contact. And again, yeah, just can't hold onto the ball. We don't see any changes, though, from the SA bench. So who do they bring on, Dan, if they needed to make a change right now?
Opportunities there, I think, for Hamilton to come on to the court. Played in the goal shooter yesterday during the morning against Victoria when they had their win. So there's an opportunity for that change possibly as well.
So I feel like something needs to happen if they're going to make a move right now, though. Oh, Declan Mensing. Ooh, fortunate to get the contact call. So Goss on the outside. Nice little deflection again from Ashworth.
Yeah, Ashworth getting his hands to a few balls in the recent couple of plays.
And we can see an SA player with the wing defence bib on coming up to the substitution box now. And Hay just going offside. So it'd be a free pass inside the circle to West Coast Thunder. And just a little pop pass from shooter to shooter. Great job by West Coast Thunder. So as that Freddie Taylor comes off, Declan Mensing gets a hand to it. Wouldn't be surprised to see Taylor back on in the shooter bib.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Doesn't look like he's putting a bib on just yet.
Hay hitting circle edge, finding Sampson very nicely. Nice little 1-2 connection there. And at the moment, they just can't get the goals to drop for them in this quarter. And that's more with another occasion where, Perella just literally pushing the pass into Dutram's hands, trying to clean up the mess. Thunder able to get these defensive tips and deflections, but just not being able to convert all like they would like to. And yeah, it looks like it's Taylor in that goal attack. So Sampson may be coming to the bench to see, which is an interesting move because Sampson's the one that's scoring for them as Hobson scores his first goal for the quarter. 23 plays 15. It's only an 8-goal lead, but it feels like a lot more. The intensity is definitely building here. And one of the shooters has to roll out, and great feed from Corey Goss as he waits for Denham to turn back to post along the goal line.
Yeah, smart work there just to hold the ball for that extra second, allowing the shooter to take the drive along the goal line.
And we see that change come into play, and Hay just letting that ball spill over the sideline.
Yeah, just falling apart a little bit for South Australia at the moment.
Yeah, they're just searching for answers right now. As, you know, we almost hit the main break with 90 seconds left to play. We've got the West Coast Thunder with a bit of a lead here in this knockout semi-final. And Hay doing his best to get that defensive touch on the ball. Mark, the coach, just strolls back onto the sideline. No rush. You know, they're not chasing this game either, so they've just got to be controlled as Denham pirouettes in the air. And it'll be a Dragons feed on the goal line. Just a misconnection there.
Yeah, I think he had the opportunity almost to stand up tall and turn and take the shot. Wasn't really in a rush, and I think he could have got his balance and been able to turn around and look to the post.
And Hayes done a great job finding circle edge. And missed attempt. Oh, nice little offload. And withdraws the penalty as well. So Hobson. And gets another goal for the Dragons. So West Coast ball. 25 seconds. Got time for one more goal. That's not going to help their case, so they've got to send it. Denham comes popping out. And Denham strong in the contest.
Yeah, great use of the body up, straight up and down from Denham, and puts the ball through the ring to round out the quarter.
Absolutely. So 25 plays 16 in favour of West Coast Thunder against South Australia as we head into the main break. It's been a continuation of the first quarter, and I think the strategic change of from the Dragons moving the new goal shooter in didn't pay dividends like they liked, but I think we're in for a great second half of netball coming up to you straight after this.
Having a pretty good season this year, Andy.
By the look of this lot, you are too.
Well, we've got a good team out in the field. You want to go meet them?
Sure. So what do you grow here?
We've got broccolis, collies over there, carrots, you name it. We harvest it today, catch, and it's in the stores tomorrow.
So you guys are the midfielders of the fruit and veg?
At Spot Shed, we grow it.
We sell it, you save.
Giving this season everything we've got. Just try and stop us. Don't miss the excitement of West Coast Fever at RAC Arena. Tickets on sale now at ticketek.com.au. Giving this season everything we've got. Just try and stop us. Don't miss the excitement of West Coast Fever at RAC Arena. Tickets on sale now at ticketek.com.au.
And at www.fortephysio.com. WA Sports Performance is also a proud part of the West Coast Thunder. Located in Willetton, WASP is Perth's premier strength and conditioning and sports injury rehab facility, bridging the gap between amateur and elite performance from youth athletes through to professional. Welcome back to Bendat Stadium. Here it's the 23 and under divisions knockout semi-final between the home state West Coast Thunder up against the South Australian Dragons. West Coast currently leading 25 goals to 16. My name is Mandy Love and joining me today is Dan Cook. Dan, what did we witness in the first half from the West?
Yeah, West Coast just looked sharp, easy ball through to circle, getting themselves in good circle range with the shot 25 from 25 from the goal circle. for the West Coast Thunder. Opposite end, South Australia just sitting at 16 goals from 28 attempts. And really, I think that's the difference. South Australia able to get the ball through the court, just have not been able to convert. And the defensive end of, well, really more Alinta in that quarter, just able to bring every ball in and allow for Western Australia to go down the other end and score.
And as I look out on court, there are no major changes from the boys in the West, and why would you? But for the Southern Dragons, we see that change up again. So looks like Freddie Taylor's up in goal attack with, is it Hamilton?
Sampson's come back onto the court at shooter.
Oh, Sampson's come on at shooter, excuse me.
Yeah, Hay and Dutram also changing positions
Now,
in the centre and wing attack roles.
Now they did this earlier this morning, and it was quite effective with Dutram getting some really positive defensive gains.
Yeah, also we have Chad Nelson coming on at wing defence as well.
So let's see what impact they have on this game for their team. Moore finds Goss, has to play it back to Mensing. And I like how the box is set up nicely here. They're moving as well in line. And Perella almost balking to move the box in order to find that secondary option. And just offside. So free pass. Look, those two shooters have just got it on a string to one another right now.
Yeah, look, they're here to play at the moment. And I think this WA team looks very sharp this afternoon.
They're hungry. They want a spot in the grand final. Seeing them after the game this morning, they weren't happy that they were able to let that game blow out like it did, knowing that it was a one-goal point at halftime. So that's a scary thought coming in today's match this afternoon. But they've got to get the job done, and they've got to sink the goals through the hoop. And Denham backs up his teammate, slotting another goal for the WA boys.
Yeah, Perella with the miss there. That's the first miss for Western Australia for the game. However, Denham able to grab that one in and put the ball away for Western Australia.
And, watching this defensive structure, it's a really nice shutdown play on second phase. They've had to do several different, movements just to get into the circle. But when they do, they're finding post. Yeah,
really feel like this change for South Australia is...
It's a positive one.
It's a positive one. It's going to get them back into the game. It means the less work there for Sampson outside at the circle. He can then sit inside the circle, get as much ball as possible, find some rhythm again on the shot.
Yes. But, then now it's up to their team defensively to get these stops against the really humming front line from the West Coast Thunder. And again, they drop into their box-like formation. And Hay just moving the front toe outside of the circle. Smart play. You play to the call.
Definitely had a foot offside. Umpire not in position to be able to see it. So pulling it back. Still delivering a nice ball into the goal circle.
And just working their way through. And that's a nice little pick up by the Dragons. Can they convert here? Just a patient build having to cross the court to Hay. Back on the transverse line. A really nice measured approach by the Dragons. So contact call on the transverse line. And some really nice hedging work done by the defenders. And that's a great break for the Dragons. It's what they needed. They've got a chance to take this down to 8, this lead. And look at the work defensively done here. Everyone on their play or within reach just to have a good crack, and everyone's high, and that's a really good defensive win for the Thunder. They've really built that up. Yeah,
forced the turnover there, really had made it a hard ball to deliver, but what a fantastic pass from Goss.
And the reach from Denham and the confidence to pull that in so strongly. That was the reply they needed. Mensing finding Davis with the underarm flick off. Has to go back to Goss. Denham again cleaning up and just offloads to Perella. Nice little role reversal like we spoke about earlier. Sharing the workload quite nicely. And again, they're almost like letting the first phase go as they double down on second phase. So interesting tactic. We haven't really seen them do that much this week. They've clearly sort of seen something in the South Australian game, and that is a great vision down court. And Linter called out of play. Taylor gets up. Great rebound from Taylor. Oh, excuse me, that was Samson. I keep getting those two confused.
Yeah, changing spots, not how we've seen them for most of the week, so can understand the confusion.
Denham out, finding Corey Goss on the circle edge. Oh, a nice little tap down too. Ashworth will probably need a lot more of them. And both shooters running away. Oh, that's a nice little front cut. And just around the ring. And Moore just pops the ball around the post to his fellow defender in Will Linter. Close to 3 seconds. Mensing punching middle. Someone's got to cut to the ball.
Yeah, balls have not dropped for South Australia today. Unfortunately for them, it's been a little bit of a letdown, but now Western Australia in attack.
And they're just patient as they approach the post. And Perella, swish, swish, nothing but net. Dutram will have the centre pass. What can they do here? Open circle. They just find the body and work themselves around, setting up their rotations. And great shot there by Taylor. And new goal defence rolling onto court too.
Yeah, Glasbrook on now into goal defence for the Dragons.
Jack Davis just finds Denham on the last second. Each player allowed to keep the ball in their hands for up to 3 seconds before a pass must be delivered. And lining up to post is Perella, and he slots another one. And looks like Mitch Bayliss has come back on court into the wing defence position. I think for me it's just more hand over pressure. He's got a reach as well, so they're looking to get the balls lifted high for these vertical defenders. And that's a great shot by the Dragons. So they've kept this margin to 10.
Yeah, I think the change from the South Australian team has been good. Sampson into the game just a little bit more, able to keep his focus inside the circle.
You know, I think, we have to pay credit to someone like Denham too. He's doing a lot of work on the outside. Ooh, surprised he didn't get the offensive contact against Dutram. And again, misplaced feed. So here come the Dragons. Oh, the afterburners from Hay. He's just got an engine on him, doesn't he? Just keeps going.
Yeah,
and
it does.
Nice pop pass too. Got the screen from his fellow shooter as well. Nice break back from the Dragons. So 23 plays 32. Can they score off their centre pass? Thunder must stay and play defensively. Doing a great job. And 3 seconds. So nice defensive work through the middle as Bayless sets the penalty. And just patient working it down into their goal third. Mensing on circle edge, can't go anywhere. Contact call, so that's Jack Davis with the free penalty pass. And Perella just rolling just enough to free up Denham. Oh, he got twisted in the air on that occasion. He's just got to stand tall. Yeah, he draws the contact call.
You can see that there, just the body of Glasbrook straight into the back of Denham.
So Thunder with the feed. And just Perella needs to put more touch on that pass. Couldn't quite give it to Davis in his running space, so...
Dutram was quite happy with that one as well.
Of course he was happy. He touched it and got the call as well at the same time, and Denham just trying to defend the pass. So Dragons here, what can they do? How do they get themselves back into this game? Hay hitting circle edge really nicely. And they need to get up, like no box out from the defenders, but Bayless able to collect the ball circle edge. And Moore finds Denham. Goes back to Bayliss, who's off balance. Swing ball to Mensing. Oh, look at the sweeping run from Denham. I thought he was going to go direct to post, having Perella at the post, but he missed him. And there's that nice little shooter again. Denham making them pay, so 34 plays 23.
Still sitting at 100% today, Denham as well.
It sounds really horrible to say, but we're actually used to seeing Denham up and around that high 90s, 100% mark. It's an off game if he shoots 95. And that's not even an exaggeration at a WA Netball League level.
Yeah, I wish I was able to sink 100% of my shots during my career.
Oh, and it's the volume. It's also the volume
Yes.
too. Like at our WA Netball League, he's used to shooting at least 40 odd goals for his team. And Mensing with the ball. And again, just this really nice measured approach. And Baylor's doing a really good job protecting his self-ball side. But a nice little deflection again from the Dragons defenders. They've got to make it count on the scoreboard though. Linter, great vertical and the box out. And the Dragons sinking another goal. So this last couple of minutes has been going goal for goal, which has been quite nice. Like you mentioned earlier, I think the change has definitely been effective. And Hay coming off.
Yeah, Hamilton on now into wing attack for the Dragons. Let's see what he can bring to the court. Does look like Hay is putting the centre bib on as well, so let's expect to see him back on the court shortly. Oh!
And Mitch Bayliss, just a heavy collision. Helps him back up straight away. That should just be just a play on, just a contact, nothing malicious in it. What I'm really liking about the feeders from the Dragons is they're really shifting the West Coast Thunder defenders and making them think about how they can attack the line of the ball. Time held as the ball spills over from shoe court 2.
Yeah, we saw South Australia do this change this morning. Hamilton come on to wing attack for a couple of minutes. And Hay moving back into the centre. Dutram back into the wing attack soon. So just a quick conversation with the coach. I'd expect to see him back on shortly.
And Perella really keeping that ball in play with the outstretched arms. So 36-25 in favour of the boys in the West. And McCoach back on at centre as well for Thunder. Really managing their roster quite nicely with an offside call. And Will Lenter attacking the transverse line. Finds Moore, who was left alone.
Yeah, great drive down into the pocket.
An obstruction call on the outside. They needed to have that earlier release, didn't they? Just Denham was ready and they didn't release the ball to him. Gets called for contact, so Denham will get a penalty shot. So they break again. So West Coast Thunder really capitalising on the unforced errors from the Dragons. And yeah, the coach goes quickly, steps in, plays himself off the post too, does Denham. He's putting in a performance of a lifetime today. So Dutram has to play it back. Hay really close to the sideline. And looks like there's only ever one option at the moment for the Dragons.
Yeah, Dragons are really struggling to find way through the post, and options aren't plenty for them. It seems to be only one drive, one lateral lead as well, up and down or side to side.
And they slot another goal in for their efforts, but again, relatively low scoring by their standards, knowing that they've played so beautifully this morning in terms of a full four-quarter performance. But, you know, was that game sort of like their grand final match for them, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Did they play their final game this morning? Like you said, to the energy to be able to bring this back, like back it up in the afternoon performance only just 5 hours ago. It's a big ask of these athletes. Oh, and hell ball by the Dragons. So West Coast Thunder again with possession.
Yeah, no one coming forward for South Australia. Nowhere really to go except to hold on to the ball. South Australia really needs to make sure that they're coming forward.
Absolutely. Moore with the ball in hand, finds the connection down court. Not our timer, so still 40 seconds in play. Why wouldn't you give it to that man? And Perella will look to line up. And plays on. Oh no, the penalties have to be reset. And just short on the shot, and possession call in favour of Ashworth. So great job by Ashworth done in the dying seconds of this third quarter here in the 23 and under division. Has to go long, and it was touched by Moore, by Linter, excuse me. So it will be a quick throw in from the Dragons if they can get it up. Still time, and great goal from the Dragons on the buzzer. So as we go into the final break, we've got West Coast Thunder currently leading 39 goals to 27 against South Australia Dragons. It's a 12-goal margin. We do have a game on our hands. There's still 15 minutes left to play. Absolute time for the Dragons to come back in this fourth and final quarter. So let's stay tuned to see if they can get it done against the boys from the West. Stay with us. Australia Men's and Mixed Netball Australia Championships 2023 proudly supported by Blade and WA, Great Temptation Sweet Treats, Spudshed, West Coast Fever and Netball WA. West Coast Thunder are also proudly supported by Forte Physiotherapy, WA Sports Performance, Spudshed, Subiaco Sports Massage, the Wembley Hotel, Fresh Frontier and Smelsea by Chelsea. Good afternoon and welcome back to Bendat Stadium here, the fourth and final quarter of this elimination semi-final in the 23 and under division. We've got the home crowd getting jeered up down the front here by their fellow teams and they start their last quarter in this semi-final. They're currently leading 39 goals to 27 and it's been a bit of an interruption here. Messy start to the fourth quarter by the Thunder.
Yeah, not the best to start for the Thunder, but 12-goal lead. Have to be happy with the performance from the first three quarters.
Yeah, very healthy 12-goal buffer, but you know they can't rest on their laurels here. They need to keep pushing on. We've seen South Australia score very quickly in previous games, so they'll be on the hunt. Defensively, though, they've got to get some wins on the board in order to interrupt the flow that these shooters from the Thunder are just bringing today. Perella scoring another goal to add to his tally.
Yeah, South Australia not always having a second option to the ball, really just one option at a time. We spoke about it in the third quarter as well. Freddie Taylor slots that one.
And that was a beautiful goal to start off the fourth quarter. We know that if they start getting their goals in early, they start to pick up their confidence, and when that happens, it's a scary thought for the boys from the West. Thought Dutram had a calf cramp there. Not too sure if anything else was a result of that, though. Moore with the ball in hand. Finds Perella, who looks in early, even with two defenders against him. Yes, I was clutching my pearls too.
That was pretty netball. Daniel Perella looking straight into the circle. Denholm on the hold. Really on a 2-on-1. Fantastic delivery of the ball. Fantastic pull in.
And that's something that's been building over the course of the week. How do the Dragons respond? Oh, another goal. And, you know, when I look at the attempts, you know, the Dragons have had like a similar number of attempts to Thunder, so had their accuracy just been a little higher, this could have been a very different ball game.
Yeah, very much could have been in the contest if the shooting accuracy had been what it was this morning for South Australia.
And Hay trying to keep it in. No, Moore cleans up at the back. And just a little flirty lofted pass from a coach there to Denham.
Yeah, but a good hold from Denham means that he's the first one onto the ball. Denham still yet to miss here today, sitting at 26 from 26. High volume for the youngster.
I'm not surprised by that at all. A nice little offload as the Dragons get another score to add on to their tally. So they're still in the hunt. What can their defensive end pick up for them? They've got to win ball early in this fourth quarter in order to try and bring this margin down. So whilst they're sitting in this box, it's great, but they've got to attack the ball. Sort of looking at this from a box formation isn't doing anything for them. And, you know, West Coast Thunder, they're just playing very patiently. And again, just a nice little drop-off pass from Perella into Denham. So biggest margin of the game at 13. And nice deflection from Bayless.
Yeah, great hands over pressure from Bayless, getting the deflection and putting it out of court.
And he's been quite the little revelation down this defensive end. Sort of relatively new to the West Coast Thunder program, but his father has played for West Coast a few years ago. So he's a bit of a legacy child, so it's nice to see him involved in the program.
Yeah, nice for them to come back into programs. It's great from different states now that we're able to kind of have this, dads coming through, a couple of teams with former Australian or state representatives having their kids come through and play the sport of netball as well.
And Perella off the centre pass, finds McCoach, and just wide right now along the transverse line. A nice little dodge back from McCoach, and look at the drop off from Denham. Took them on a journey to circle edge and cut to post.
Yeah, class movement from Denham there.
Every pass really contested as Linter gets a good touch on that, and it's Bayless who comes up with the ball. And nice long transition pass from Moore, and Denham out of the circle here, finding McCoach, and nice connection to Perella on the goal line. Rush shot, he'll get a second attempt though. Denham, and that's another one for Denham. And, you know, when I think about it, that's Bayless's goal. That was, you know, his little win there that was converted into points.
Yeah, the touches from the defensive end really paying dividends for the Western Australia team here this afternoon. Really doesn't look like there is an assailable lead.
And Wade Moore just gets bounced out of the way from Dutram. I think I was laughing because they're both so slight of frame. And a loose ball. So it'd be going the way of the West Coast Thunder. and looks direct into Denham. So question, Dan, knowing that the scoreline is what it is at the moment, we've got just under 9 minutes to play, do you go for the jugular or do you look to start resting players at some point if you're the West Coast Thunder?
Yeah, I'd be resting players now. 15 goals, pretty much unassailable. Can always chuck them back on, but I really think that there's enough of the boys have been on today. You'd start to rest and rotate.
And just as we say that, looks like Davis was about to come on in that centre role into the substitution box, but looks like he'll do a bit of a warm-up first. So Coach Patrina Pahi doing a great job in terms of tactically how she manages her players on and off this game. I've really enjoyed the rotation in that, particularly that centre role with my coach, just keeping that fresh constantly. And even in their swing defence role as well. She's just tinkered a bit with her mid-court.
Mensing's gone up and down the court there, just sitting on either side, along with, Davis. Goss has spent some time on the court as well in the wing attack space, but just good rotations for the West Australian team.
And again, nice little lofted pass and a flat shooter-to-shooter. Yeah, Denham's been impressive today for the West Coast Thunder. And, we've got the All-Star 7 that is selected over the course of the week. So only 7 players selected in the position. So who do you think is in the conversation,
I
Dan?
think Denham from this court has to be in the conversation. Really think Moore has to be in the conversation probably in a goalkeeper. It's where he spent most of the week from my vision. So a few there definitely to be looked at for sure.
I think Sampson from the goal attack from South Australia has
to be in the conversation.
He's got to be in and around there in that conversation.
Yeah, the other person that's probably impressed me for South Australia has been Ashworth at goalkeeper, and may force his way into that keeper spot as well. So interesting to see how the coaches pick it.
And so the All-Star 7 will be announced at the awards dinner this Saturday night. But there will be a beautiful grand final to get us underway before then on the Saturday. And that's a great shot by the Dragons. So 33-49. And Perella coming all the way through the middle lane. And Denham coming outside the circle, connects Jack Davies onto circle edge. Oh, first miss of the game by Denham. It's been a tough week for these guys. They've had 10 round games. Oh, Will Winter comes out. And it's a throw into the Dragons. 10 games. A knockout semi-final this morning and a chance to come into today's preliminary final, and then the big grand final tomorrow.
Got to remember, this is game number 12 for them, so no buys in the 23s division this year, which is really hard to back up from 2 games a day. Benches needed to be used well.
And a lot of the squads are actually carrying a lot of niggles, carrying a lot of injuries that they're trying to sustain, and some teams even working with sort of like 9 or 10 players when they came over with a full squad of 12.
Yeah, look, injuries have hit a whole heap of squads. A couple of ACLs have done Victoria some damage, along with some injuries to really Martin Coach has been carrying one all week. It's hard to manage your players throughout it, and this is the first year that they've had a 6-team competition as well, which means there is no bye. Bye would help you get through and manage with the 2 less games, really, once you get to the end of the week.
Lovely screen by Perella as he saw Denham coming through on that goal line drive. Just couldn't get the shot to the post. So we've got just under 5 minutes left to play as, again, Denham gets another deflection. The defensive pressure from the West is huge today.
Yeah, South Australia just probably also looking a little lackluster at the moment. There's just not the intensity. It's hard to back it up.
It's a tough gig today. And in the foreground down here, we've got Vladaka warming up down the tunnel. More than likely come on in one of the defensive back three positions. And, you know, Josh is another one who's came under an injury cloud pre-nationals. Actually got the clearance the weekend before nationals started, got the full clearance to work his way back in. So it was great job. And Mensing, nice work over the line. And Denham stretches out tall, and Davis hustling strong on the circle's edge. And just a nice little dish off pass, so Bayless coming off. And he changes straight into the GD bib too, so expect more to come off with a few minutes to play in this elimination match. And nice rebound opportunity from the Dragons. So Vladaka coming through. And that's Vice-Captain Wade Moore's job done for the day. As he sits off with 2 minutes 50 left to play in this game.
Yeah, great work from Moore today. Really caused issues for the goal circle for South Australia, which is where they've been fairly damaging against other teams. So congratulations to team.
Yeah, not as high individual stats that we've seen him earlier throughout the week, but I think his unit has done enough to really stem the flow, like you mentioned, of the South Australian front line today. And, you know, like, how about these goal shooters, though, from the West Coast Thunder? They've been phenomenal today.
Oh, yeah. Look, I think we've seen 4 missed shots from them throughout the course, all coming in the second half as well.
And that could be just, you know, a little bit of fatigue, maybe, being a full 60 minutes on court.
Yeah, definitely fatigue from the morning game. Freddie Taylor.
Beautiful goal, mid-range bomb.
Yeah, definitely think fatigue playing a part in it. We kind of saw South Australia not being able to find the ring at the start of the match. And I think that comes also from fatigue from this morning. Bulls just dropped.
They, like, you know, that really started the ball rolling for the boys in the West. Once they started getting that momentum, they were very hard to stop.
Yeah, unfortunately, once the margin blows out to 12, very hard to bring it back in. And unfortunately, sometimes missed shots don't or result in some issues for the team.
What I like, though, is that the Dragons are still continuing to go to post and still getting the ball there. So they're trying as best they can. And Davis gets the contact call, goes his way. So Hay will be out of play. As the Thunder bring it down for the final minute of play. We see Jaden Kahotia with a goal attack bib on. Oh, Denham just wrestles the ball out of his hands. He literally has been in everything today. For me, I'm going to pick him as best on ground right now.
I have to agree. Just everywhere for the West Australian Thunder.
Like defensive tips in the front end and just the shooting percentage. I mean, he won't be happy with it because it's not 100, but he's done a fantastic job for his team today. So bring it down. Hay doing a great job trying to get the tip off. And Mensing. Who is he going to pass to? Yeah, I would go to Denham too. And another goal for Denham, 55-38 so far, 7 seconds left. Can the Dragons get another one? They've got to go long. They do. Oh, and just buzzer beating them. That is the West Coast Thunder 23 and under team heading to the grand final. They will be meeting their old foes, Victoria, in what shall be a real humdinger of a match. I'm excited for that. That match is on tomorrow afternoon. It's the last grand final of the day. Yeah,
3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, which really gives Western Australia a good almost 24 hours worth of rest and recovery. I'm sure that will be something that they will be needing to get themselves over the line after the loss this morning to the Victorian team.
Absolutely. And, you know, commiserations go out to the South Australian Dragons. They've been a fantastic team in this 23 and under division this week. They've been able to have a couple of wins and upset a couple of sides. So I'm excited to see what they bring back next year.
Yeah, they'll be happy with a third place spot. I think Western Australia and Victoria deserve it of making the final. Beating Queensland this morning, though, probably a highlight for the South Australian team, knocking out the defending champions from the finals. Week is now over for SA, so they get to go home, watch the rest of the teams or the rest of the matches. Western Australia will be extremely excited to be facing Victoria tomorrow afternoon.
Look, not going to lie, I'm very excited for the boys in the West. You know, their Opens team also have gone through to the grand finals, so that's 2 teams from the West straight through to or into the grand finals tomorrow. So well done, West Coast Thunder, and hope you go well in the grand final tomorrow. Thank you guys for joining us today. As you see, the lads getting a really strong show of support from the families and friends in the crowd today. Thank you for joining us here on Clutch TV. We have the next game coming up on this court. It is Friday, it is semi-finals day, and it looks like it is the mixed open prelim final. So that game kicking off at 5:30, so make sure you stay tuned for that one.